All right, friends, it is time for our Halloween decorating, and I've got a fun project for you and this super cute witch hat garland. Isn't she lovely? Oh my goodness, I'm so excited to walk you through all of this cuteness because I'm so excited to start decorating my home with all of these super cute little witchy hats. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So I went ahead and created an SVG file for you as well as a PDF pattern if you want to snag that on my website. And this will just help you cut them on your Cricut or hand cut them, but I love using my Cricut Maker 3 and makes all these perfect little shapes for you. So they cut beautifully, and look, we have extra circles left over. Woo! So we're gonna go ahead and start making our witch hat. The first thing I like to do is grab my little iron, my Cricut iron. It makes it so helpful. And we're gonna go grab some scrap felt so that we can have a nice heat-safe surface for our iron. We're gonna grab our little donut shape first and cut 1/4-inch slits around the middle. And this is what's gonna help us glue the hat to, or the base of the hat, or I guess the brim of the hat, to the top part of the hat, I suppose. I'm over here with my wonderful technical terms because that's what I'm all about. So we're gonna go all the way around that donut with some slits. And they're about like 1/4 inch apart. You could do more or less. It's not a big deal. You just want slits in there so that it kind of glues nicely. So now we're gonna take that flap on the witch hat piece and we're gonna fold it over, and using your iron, you're gonna kind of cinch it down so that way it stays flat, and this just makes it so much easier when you're gonna go ahead and glue one side to the other. It has something to adhere to, and having it ironed down makes it just so much easier to handle. All right, so we're gonna go use that same flap there, and we're gonna go ahead and apply some glue. I love my Sheer Bonder glue gun, link below, because it is my favoriteest glue gun and their glue is amazing and I'm super pleased with it. We're gonna go ahead and add some glue, and then we're gonna fold over the other side and just line up those edges. And then it just makes a really, really clean seam. Ta-da! So now you have kind of like an ice cream cone shape. We're gonna add a little bit of glue at the tippy top and just cinch that shut as well. And then we're gonna go ahead and glue the seam at the bottom as well. The bottom's gonna overlap just a hair, not a big deal. And go bloop. Ta-da! Now you have a full little witch top hat, and it is kind of like, I don't know, I'm gonna refer to it as the ice cream cone. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and add some glue on the inside of our ice cream cone, and then that way we can attach our brim of our hat. I'm doing a pretty decent amount of glue. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and line up our hat with our brim. Now this part gets a little bit tricky, so take your time, get it lined up nicely. All right, so then you're gonna flip it over, and now that we have those slits, you're gonna fold those in, and that's what's gonna hit your glue on the inside of that hat and just make a really, really clean seam so that you can't really tell how they're attached, and then you can't see all that glue and it's not yucky and nothing's falling out. See? Ta-da! So lots of slits are nice, but not too many to make it unwieldy. Add a little bit more glue if you need it, because sometimes that glue dries fast and can be obnoxious, especially if you keep dropping it and waiting before you actually glue the darn hat together. There she is. Okay, but you know, obviously we are not making witch hats that just came from the brand new witch hat store. We gotta make them super cool by making them look, I don't know, well used. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my heat safe surface here again, and now I'm just gonna kind of like crunch it down basically. I'm like folding it and crunching it, and I don't know what the proper word there is, but that's what we're gonna do here. And we're just gonna hold it tightly and then grab our iron again and just put a lot of pressure on that and just press it down so that our felt just absorbs all of those creases and presses and makes it just look super fun and used and funky instead of just boring and straight, because nobody likes a boring straight hat. I mean, I guess if you do, it's fine. You could totally leave it, but I wanted them more crunchy and fun. Ta-da! Isn't that so fun? It almost looks like a giant sat on it or stepped on it. I don't know. Just to make sure that we lock in this shape, because we really love it, we're gonna go ahead and get some scrap paper, and I am using a Mega Hold Crazy Strong Unscented Hairspray. I really like this bottle because it's like $2 at Walmart, but you can totally use fabric stiffener too. Either one works. I just like the aerosol cans because it just makes it way easier to spray it and get a really good coverage instead of the like squirty bottles, but to each their own. It all works. All right, isn't she beautiful? Okay, so let that dry. And then once it's nice and firm and a little bit stiffer, so now it's not gonna lose its shape on you. So we're gonna need a few of these hats all together. So I've got a few different colors of felt here that's like a 1/4 inch thick. And I'm making little brims. I don't know, bands on your hat? I don't know. Anywho, we're gonna go ahead and make that little strip all the way around and make it super fun and cute. So I'm adding quite a bit of glue around, working slowly, so that way it has a really, really good adherence to the hat. Just trim that extra, add some more glue, and finish her off. Ta-da! Okay, so you're gonna do this to all your little witchy hats. And then now we're gonna go ahead and make some cute little flowers. So now I've got my fringe scalloped, scalloped pinking shears. I love these guys, link in my bio. I feel like everybody should have these for felt flower making. And we're just gonna cut and make these little fringe strips. They're about 1/4 inch wide. And I'm just using all scrap felt in the fun little color scheme that I kind of picked out, which is like purples, pinks, and oranges. So they can really be any length you want. I would say these are probably about 2 inches, 2.5 inches, kind of somewhere in there. And now we're gonna go ahead and cut the little fringes, and I'm just gonna go through the little valleys on the little ups and downs right there to kind of follow the same pattern that my fringe scissors or my scalloped scissors kind of created for me. But if you don't have the scissors, it still works. All right, now we're just gonna do like a really, really simple rolled flower, but I'm also not gonna make it level. I'm gonna kind of bring that little rolled shape down a little bit. And then I'm cutting off some extra because I liked the size that is. But if you can see, it is not completely level, and I kind of pushed the flower shape down. So it kind of flares out a little bit, and putting a lot of pressure on the bottom to make it flare out even more and just let that glue really hold it with that flare shape. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and take our 3 different colors, and I like to assemble this flower before it hits the witch hat because it's just way easier. And then you can kind of place it on the witch hat kind of exactly where you want instead of kind of guessing and then kind of putting them all on. So we glued those 3 flowers together, and now we're gonna make a super cute little leaf. This is the grass colored felt, and I'm just gonna go ahead and start with a simple leaf shape, and then I'm gonna add some little snippets in there and kind of really just play with the shape here too, and just make it a little bit more fun and dynamic and more witchy and goofy and silly instead of just like a perfectly straight little leaf. And I'm just cutting little snips and strips into it and little divots and pulling out some felt and just changing up the shape of it. And you can kind of do more or less, whatever, and just make a little fun shape if that's what you want. Or you can go with a simple leaf shape too. It's totally up to you. These are your little witch hats. See, just like this. I would almost say it looks like a dinosaur foot. That's what this leaf is gonna be now called dinosaur foot leaf. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pinch the bottom just so that makes it more texture and fun, and it's not so boring. I mean, not that it was boring before because it was a dinosaur leaf, right? Or dinosaur foot, but now it is even more fun because we pinched it and gave it a little bit more volume. All right, just like with our hairspray, woo woo, volume for the hair, volume for the leaves. All right, so we're gonna glue that to our little bunch, and then we're gonna go ahead and add this to our hat. Ta-da, hat. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and add some glue to the bottom of our flowers and place it perfectly onto our little brim because this is a stylish witch. She is a fancy witch and she likes fancy little flowers. Oh, isn't she super sweet and adorable and cute? So we're gonna go ahead and repeat this on all of our witch hats. So now we're gonna go ahead and get a bunch of scrap pieces of felt. This is about, oh my goodness, so they're 3/4 inch by 3 inches. I'm gonna take all of my witch hats. I actually ended up only using 4 of my witch hats, but if you wanna squeeze in a 5th one, by all means. a bunch of felt balls, and a needle and twine. I cut mine to about 6 feet, and honestly, 4 hats work. I wasn't sure when I started, so I made extra, but I ended up only using 4. So I like to use my pliers to string my needles through the felt balls because it's just a little bit easier. And then we're gonna go ahead and string on a hat after we do our little felt ball, and then we're gonna add another felt ball, and then we're gonna make these kind of like little mini type scrappy banner little fluffies on here as well. So I am just going to go ahead and string my needle through, and I'm going in each little strip twice, and I'm trying to like fluff them to make kind of like a ball shape. And I'm doing about 11 to 12 of these strips and one of these little fluffies, but you can literally do as many as you want. And I'm also keeping it well within the same color scheme that I've already started with. So I'm just using yellows, blacks, pinks, purples, but use whatever scrap felt that you have. Once she's all done, you have this super cute, adorable witchy hat garland. And isn't she so great? And I'm so excited. Check out where I hung her up in my house, and I can't wait to see where you hang yours up in yours. Thanks so much, guys, for following along, and feel free to ask any questions in the comments below and hit that like and subscribe button. And don't forget that notification bell, because let's be real, you do not want to be missing any more of my videos because they are so fun and you never know what you're gonna get. All right, thanks guys. See you later. Bye.